Hello, everybody. I am Rana Mikhailis, and this video is totally unprepared, like at all. I didn't script this, I didn't rehearse this. I don't know if I'm going to come out coherent or not, but man, I'm just really upset right now. I just am really upset right now. It is March 23rd right now, and I just read a tweet from Tennessee GOP, and it says criticism of Islam is illegal now in Canada, but lunatics calling for the eradication of all Jews are allowed to live there. Unbelievable. And it links to a video where you can see Muslims praying, you know, oh Allah, purify the mosque and, kill all the 50 Jews. It's okay to call for death. It's okay to kill the Jews. Kill the Jews, fine. I mean, and to top it all off, Sargon of Akkad says March 19th, 2017 about Punch Bowl public teacher blows whistle on Islamic extremism at schools where students are showing signs of extreme radicalization as early as year 5, including threatening to behead teachers, bullying peers into reading the Quran, and even demanding the Syrian flag to be put on the classrooms. Unbelievable. And I feel like it's going to backfire. You know, um, it's really going to backfire one day. And like even YouTube itself has its own little censorship thing going on where if you criticize Islam, you can be demonetized forever. So it's like, wow, no more monetization for good because there are people who've been permanently demonetized because they criticize Islam, but they're allowed to say death to the Jews. And I'm wondering if people learned anything from Hitler, where 6 million Jews were put into concentration camps, death camps, and died. 6 million Jews died during the Holocaust, and it's kind of like you can still say "fit to the Jews," and it's kind of like it's almost like history is repeating itself because it's kind of like you're still supporting the Hitler. I mean, you may as well say "Hail Hitler," and that's the plane. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's the plane nearby. But anyway, it's like I just it's really so frustrating and upsetting. It's even a bit hypocritical. You're gonna call everybody a Nazi. I mean, you're gonna call just basically everybody Nazi. That guy's a Nazi. Sargon of Akkad is a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. But these Muslims could say, kill all the Jews, something that was actually said in the time of Nazi Germany. And if you are a Muslim, you can actually say that. And I would like some consistency. I would actually like some consistency. If you're going to say, you know, if you're going to say that Sargon of Akkad is Nazi, and if you're going to flippantly call everybody a Nazi, like, oh, Laura Southern, Nazi, Chris Reagan, Nazi, if you're going to call everybody a Nazi, then I would think death to the Jews would matter to you. I think that when somebody says kill all Jews, that would be important to you. But evidently it's not because it's kind of like you see like people saying death to the Jews, and you just see this disconnects with social justice warriors. It's just this disconnects. It's really, oppressive stack. Muslims are so oppressed that they can say and do whatever they want, which creates real oppressed groups, because eventually I would think more people are going to fight back. More people are definitely going to start fighting back. I totally believe that. You want to know why? Because imagine if you were a Jew. I mean, could you imagine if you were a Jew? You know, you followed Judaism and whatnot, and Muslims could say that's the Jews. I mean, if I was a Jew and I learned about the Holocaust and how Hitler basically had the exact same mindset. Hitler was all like, yeah, death to the Jews. Muslims are like, death to the Jews. Muslims, Hitler, I mean, both of them want Jews to die. And I mean, I'm probably going to get a lot of trouble with YouTube for this. Who knows? I mean, this video might get taken down by YouTube. I don't know. But it's kind of like Muslims could say that's the Jews, and Hitler says that's the Jews. It's just so unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I am just really upset right now. But this is going to backfire sooner or later. This is going to backfire because usually the people who are really into social justice, they are usually rich celebrities who won't even be affected by it. It's usually the people who wouldn't be affected by it. It's celebrities who love virtue signaling. It's celebrities who let it go. I'm so moral than you. I'm better than you. I'm fucking better than you. I am so much fucking better than you. It's like celebrities have gone full blown Anarchist mode. I'm fucking better than you. I support the Muslims no matter what. And it just sucks because it's gonna backfire because I believe that should I believe that Jews would probably start fighting back. I believe people would probably start fighting back. Or it's kind of like how at this punch bowl place, if I remember correctly, this teacher was like cornered into a wall. It's kind of people are getting scared because they called girls dogs. They call girls dogs. And I do think that people are going to go, wait a minute, this isn't all that consistently. I mean, we care about women, but when it comes to Muslims, it's kind of like there's this inconsistency with the rules. And people like me, people in my generation could see it, not the younger people so much, not millennials, but people closer to my age could see it. And not only that, but I actually grew up Pentecostal Christian. And growing up Pentecostal Christian, it was, at least my church was very cult-like, that I became an atheist at an early age. I became an atheist at like 9 or 10. I never really got into it because, you know, the church services are really, really long. Like the church services was like 8 hours long. And kids um, kids pay attention to things that adults ignore. You know, kids pay close attention to things that an adult would just ignore, like thou shalt not kill, and yet thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Thou shalt not judge. Only the righteous should judge. Kids pay attention to things that adults ignore, because people go to church to feel moral and, feel very moral and go like, glory, hallelujah, glory, glory, glory. And it's like, you probably aren't even paying any attention to the words. It's virtue signaling. It's virtue signaling. You're just going there to feel purr and be like, yes, glory, glory, Jesus, glory be to God. And you ignore all of the words. You ignore the Bible and you just want to feel holy. But when I was a kid, it's like, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not suffer which to live, thou shalt not judge, only the righteous should judge. I'm in school, I'm learning about the dinosaurs. Hey, how come dinosaurs aren't mentioned in the Bible? It's kind of like I'm having these thoughts, you know, um, I'm having these thoughts at like age like 9 or whatever. Like I'm 9 years old to thinking these things. Or how we are a servants of the Lord, but servants is a synonym for slave, and a servant and a slave is the same thing. So if God is so good, then why is God like a slave owner? you know, and these sort of thoughts I was having at age 9. So I became like an atheist like at a really early age because of the extremely long church services. Kids kids don't go to church to feel moral and superior. That's a very adult thing. And even when it comes to feminism, I don't think kids are gonna go through the shits that adults go through, where it's about being morally superior rather than being logically consistent. Because it's kind of like we care about women, we care about women, we care about women. And then, these Muslims, they corner a girl and they start calling her a dog. And it's like, wow. Or it's kind of like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We care about the Jews. Sergeant Picard, you're a Nazi. Lawrence Saturn, you're a Nazi. Chris Reagan, Nazi. Bering, Nazi. Muslim says, kill all the Jews. In some countries, they would actually blow Jews up. And you look at all the dead Jews, you call everybody a Nazi, accuse PewDiePie of supporting Nazism. Muslims go death to the Jews and blow Jews up in some countries. And it's like, not all Muslims are like that. You're just Islamophobic. One of these days, it's going to backfire on them. Because if I were a Jew, if I were a Jew, I would feel scared. And if I were a Jew, I would feel out of place with social justice. If I were a Jew, I would be like Ben Shapiro and I would vote Republican. I wouldn't be like, because think about this. When it comes to them talking about marginalized and oppressed people, they don't care about Jews anymore. You hardly see Jews brought up. And you have people like God Kosa of the Uhuru movement going, we blacks are the real Jews. Blacks are the real Jews. Where else did he hear that? Because I do believe that I remember seeing a Klan meeting where the people in the Klan were like, "We're the true Jews. The Jews, they're not the real Jews." The Klan must like, "We're the real Jews" or something like that. You know, um, I think I saw that, but it's been like years, so I probably misremembered that. But still, it's kind of like, the left who were there for the Jews at one point are now kind of turning its back away from the Jews. And as you kind of see the left turning its back from the Jews, I wouldn't be surprised if more Jews decided to vote Republican as they are becoming increasingly disenfranchised from the left and are facing such strong bigotry from the left. And I think before it was the rights that showed bigotry towards the Jews, but now it's the left, and it's kind of like, well, I voted for Jew. I'm sorry, I voted for the left because I thought that they care about me and they care about other Jews. But now, now I don't know who to vote for or vote at all, because I wouldn't be surprised. The only thing with the rights is that the rights has got to be smart about it and be more welcoming of different groups, like be more welcoming of the gays and whatnot, because of the feminist hierarchy where some groups are more oppressed than others. Kind of like animal form, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. You're beginning to see just this hierarchy where some minorities, because Jews, when you're a Jew, you're actually white because Jews are Ashkenazi. If you're talking about Jew, the ethnicity, then Jews are Ashkenazis, and Ashkenazis is scientifically, categorically white. But if you're talking about Jews, the religion, then I mean, it's one of the largest religions, I believe, because you got really, really small religions out there, like Wicca and whatnot. You got really, really small, like Greco-Roman paganism. So if we're going to talk about the religion, I believe that Judaism is one of the largest religions. And if we're talking about, ethnicity, then that would be Ashkenazi. You're Ashkenazi then. And that's categorically white. You're white, actually. You're not a new race. And there's only one race, that's the human race. There's not all of these other races. There's the only the human race. But I do think it's probably going to backfire on the left because for me, if I were Jewish, I would probably vote Republican. Or if I feel marginalized by both groups, if I feel marginalized by the rights because of the alt-rights, and the alt-right does seem to hate the Jews. If I feel marginalized or disenfranchised from the left as they begin to ignore Muslims saying, kill all Jews, kill all the filthy Jews, it would probably stop being a purity contest. This purity contest, the I love Muslims. I'm a Jew. Let me tell you, I'm a Jew and I love the Muslims. I'm a social justice warrior Jew. And Muslims, they are a marginalized people. As it is your son or daughter or wife that gets blown up, the virtue signaling will probably end as the problem gets increasingly worse and worse. Because if you do not treat a problem, if death to the Jews is okay, if you criticize, because you can't criticize Islam, you cannot criticize Islam or any part of Islam, and these two can say death to the Jews. You eventually a Jew be a lot like, wait a minute, wait a minute. These people are saying kill all Jews, and that's part of their religious belief, and nobody's saying anything about it. If you were a Jew, wouldn't you vote Republican or not at all? The left is going to lose the votes as this hierarchy stack because this group also scares women. This group also scares women, as women are getting mistreated, rape. And again, you're supposed to be for women. You are supposed to be for women. So if you're for women, why not do something about it? The biggest problem with the left, or the biggest problem with any ideology, the biggest problem with Christianity, the biggest problem with the left, you can even see it's a bit in anti-feminism, is being inconsistent. You gotta be consistent. You can't just, in this verse, a bit with anti-feminism is kind of like listen and believe, the whole listen and believe thing. Don't listen and believe, don't listen and believe. But Milo Yiannopoulos talks about, how he was sexually attacked or molested. And say, oh, I'm going to believe everything Milo says. And I mean, Milo, he he does lie a lot, but oh well. That's what I mean by inconsistent, especially since Milo did change his story. It's like, well, there's this girl who talked about being raped. She changed her story. And they're like, oh, this is the problem with feminism. But when Milo Yiannopoulos claims to be molested and changed his story, it's like, well, we're going to believe, But it's like uh, women are going to accuse Donald Trump of raping them. Like, you're accusing, Donald Trump of raping you, and we're supposed to take your word for it. But when it comes to, it's really just this in group, out group mentality, us versus them, and lack of consistency helps no one. People like a sense of consistency because it leaves you feeling more secure in a group. I can feel more secure with a group that is consistent. And the more inconsistent a group is, the more insecure I feel. Because it begins to seem like you would say anything just to win, or you have no principles that you really stick besides. And you have to have those principles that you're going to stick by no matter what. Don't stand by a group, stand by your principles. And I like a person who doesn't stand by a group but stands by their principles. You know, and you could change your principles. You're not a liar if you had, your principles and then you change your mind. But don't have one rule for feminists like, oh, it's just listen and believe, listen and believe. Where's the evidence? Why didn't you go to the police right away? But then it's like Milo Yiannopoulos comes and it's like, well, he's a victim. Of course, victims are going to change his mind. Well, why on earth would he ever lie about that? Well, why on earth would a woman lie about being raped? It's kind of like you're saying, why on earth would Milo lie about it? Why on earth would any woman want to lie about being raped? You know? And not only that, but I mean, he's a grown man talking about being molested. He's not, he's not a 13-year-old saying this. He's a grown man saying something about his past. Well, anyway, this video has gone on long enough, and I'm probably sure that I pissed off every group. I probably did piss off every group, but you know, I'm here to state my opinions. I'm not here to pander. I'm not here to pander. I'm not here to virtue signal. I'm here to state an opinion. And when it comes to, the Muslims and Islam, this could be a full-blown 1984. This could be full blown in 1984, and you could be a Jewish social justice warrior. Like, I'm so pure, I'm so good. But eventually, when it happens to when your friend gets blown up with your if your wife gets blown up or if it's your child, eventually you're gonna be a lot like it might be, meanness, you know, it's kind of like um first it happens to the conservatives and I said nothing because I'm not a conservative. Then it happened to, the Jews that I didn't know. But, I said nothing because I didn't even know those people. But then it happened to my church family, and now I'm afraid it's going to happen to me. It's kind of like it, it's important to talk about this and we can censor it, but these people are already saying kill all Jews. There are countries where they're blowing Jews up. There are countries where they're raping and molesting girls. And eventually, if you cannot say something, if you cannot say what you want, if you cannot say it, you would probably just resort to violence. And if you are a woman, or if you are a woman and if you look like a Muslim, because again, Muslim is not a race, it's a religion. All you have to do is buy what's it called? A hijab. If you buy a hijab and you just start shooting some Muslims up, what is the law going to do about you? Offense offensive speech seems to be way up here over than actions. Speech seems to be more terrible than actions. So why not be a woman, buy hijab? You could basically kill Muslims. And if you're a woman, you might be able to get away with it, especially if you seem like you might be a Muslim yourself, because we already see Muslims blowing people up, killing people, and nothing being done about it. Anyway, what I'm going to do with this video is I'm not going to monetize it at all because YouTube would demonetize it anyway. So I'm not going to monetize it at all. But in case YouTube takes it down, I'll probably put it different places. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I hope I didn't trigger too many people with this video, but I'm just here to speak my mind and say what I really think. You either agree or disagree, and thank you all for watching. Bye bye.